Hello, everyone. This is Adam with PsychedelicInvest.com. I hope you guys are all doing well today. I hope you had an amazing July 4th weekend. I hope we have all our fingers and we don't have sunburns. Hoping for the best for everyone. In today's episode of Weekly Extractions, I'm just going to be going over some of the news events that occurred within the psychedelic sector this month so far that I found the most interesting, that I wanted to talk about. And yeah, that's what this episode is going to be. I hope you guys enjoy it, and let's get into things. So the first bit of news that I want to get into comes out of the Netherlands here. So what do we have? We have Light Holland and Wiz Khalifa announced a partnership to launch Mr. Cat Magic Truffles in the Netherlands. So the Netherlands is currently where Light Holland is operating and selling recreational magic mushrooms currently. And also, they plan to launch Mr. Cap homegrown mushroom kits and functional mushroom products in the United States, Canada, and in the EU. So this is phenomenal for Red Light Holland, in my opinion. Why? So Wiz Khalifa is a weed cultural icon, in my opinion. He is very, very, very intertwined with weed culture in terms of where, like, the direction that his earlier music was, in terms of where it was going. It was very much about weed culture and everything that encompasses it. In turn, what he created for himself now as an adult, who's matured within the music and within the music industry, and also as a spokesperson as like a brand ambassador for weed. More or less. So like he has his own strain of weed called Khalifa Kush, which is one of the best known weed strains out there. So I cannot pull metrics on how well Khalifa Kush is selling in California right now, but what I can tell you is it's definitely a strain of weed that every weed smoker has heard of, or I will say that most weed smokers have heard of. So this is why I kind of like this partnership, because at the end of the day, so the recreational markets for psychedelics are more than likely going to align in terms of the type of the target markets here with weed too. That's more for recreational. So that's more than likely how it's going to shake out. So I like how Red Light Holland is already getting started early and getting this partnership in the books now. This is phenomenal for Red Light Holland. I will actually be doing more video content around Red Light Holland, so stay tuned for that. But yes, I love this for Red Light Holland. I like this for Wiz Khalifa, and I like this for the recreational legal magic mushroom movement, or the recreational legal magic mushroom market that will likely start developing over the course of time. So really like this so far, and we'll see how things go. In regards to this partnership, we'll see how I want to see just how they're going to brand it and whatnot. It's just really interesting to me. But yeah, I really like this for Light Holland and Wiz Khalifa. So now on to the next bit of news. All right, and next we have some news coming out of MindMed's camp. So basically, Robert Barrow, MindMed CEO, he did an Ask Me Anything, an AMA on Reddit recently, and he was asked if he was worried about MindMed delisting, and this is what he had to say. So he says, "I can't speak specifically to our plans, but he assured investors that MindMed is monitoring the situation and making contingencies, which they will announce at the appropriate time." Speaking on the likelihood of MindMed stock ever being delisted, he insisted that the leadership certainly do not view delisting as a risk of any sort. So that's what Robert Barrow had to say about it. So, and also the article goes on further to basically break down how much of a grace period you will get, and how many chances the NASDAQ will give you before you really get delisted, because essentially you will get, as long as you meet compliance of the other, as long as you still meet compliance. So let's say the stock price has fallen, but in terms of all the other metrics that they use to judge if you are compliant with the NASDAQ, if you're meeting all those, you can ask for extensions and they will give you these extensions. So basically, Psychedelic Spotlight did all the hard work for us here. So I'm just going to cherry pick the information to make this as short as possible in terms of me explaining this. But basically, they said that if we take into account all the extensions and whatnot that they will likely get, MindMed probably has until May of 2023 to get its stock back above $1. So May of 2023. So that's a pretty decent chunk of time for MindMed to become compliant with the NASDAQ again, and it's very likely they will in that time. That's just my perspective. I do think that MindMed will become compliant by May of 2023. I don't see much of a reason to worry about this, but I'll give you guys the bear perspective from here too. So if MindMed isn't able to get their share price back above $1 by May of 2023, then if they really, really do want to stay on the NASDAQ, then a reverse split might be in order. I don't think they would do that, as I think it would leave a very bitter taste in the mouths of their investors. I think it would be smarter for MindMed if delisting was on the table. I think it would be better for them to just take the delistment and just try to have that stock price recover naturally over time, as opposed to trying to reverse split to keep the company on the NASDAQ. I don't think reverse splits very rarely turn out in the favor of the investors. So I try to avoid them at all costs, in terms of if I'm invested in a company and I see that a reverse split actually might be on the table, then this is just me personally what I would do. Then I would look to exit, and then if I still like the company, I will re-enter once there has been, I guess, once the price has settled after the reverse split. So yeah, that's my that's what I would do in regards to that. But like I said, I don't think it's even going to get to the point of being of a reverse split being a reality. I really do think that MindMed's stock price will recover before then. So I really wouldn't worry about this, but I just gave you that scenario there so you guys can, I guess, be more informed in regards to this. But I really wouldn't worry about it. And yeah, we'll see what's in store for MindMed and the stock price as the year goes on. But yeah, that's what I have to say about this, and on to the next. All right, and lastly here we have ATAI coming through with the shelf offering. So what this means, what should we make of it? Should we be worried? So to answer it is basically, the long and short of it is no, there's nothing to worry about here. If we want to dissect it even further, so first off, I'll tell you why we shouldn't be worried. It's basically, this is ATAI asking permission to dilute if they need to raise funds. So ATAI has already stated they have enough of a cash runway to last them into 2023 and up to 2024. So that's a pretty significant runway. So this is basically if they see an opportunity that they want to take advantage of to raise funds, they can do so in the future. So this is just ATAI doing things in a smart way, getting the permissions now so they don't have to do it later, just to take advantage of an opportunity to raise funds. But like I said, ATAI has until just about 2024 in terms of their cash runway. I wouldn't be worrying about this at all. And I'll say this, ATAI has been hiring and growing pretty aggressively, and they are pushing drugs through they're pushing the most drugs through the pipeline of anyone in the psychedelic sector right now. They are pushing the most drugs through their pipeline compared to anyone else. So it's going to be expensive. It's going to add up. So you want to see ATAI basically covering their bases here, and this is what they're doing. And yeah, this is fine. nothing to be worried about. And like I said, when MindMed did something similar, I made a very similar comments here, where it's basically, this is not a sky is falling situation. All they're doing is asking permission to dilute. So yeah, do not worry about this, guys. ATAI is definitely still one of the best positioned psychedelic biotech companies in the sector. And I expect to hear a lot of very, 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 very exciting things coming out from ATAI throughout the year. So yeah, wouldn't worry about this at all. And yeah, that's what we have in terms of this weekly extractions episode. I hope you guys enjoyed everything. This is Adam with psychedelicinvest.com, and have a phenomenal day.